behalf of our community and reasonable people everywhere, we abhor Hamas's indiscriminate targeting of civilians and its use of its own citizens as human shields. We are saddened by the choice of Hamas to construct a network of underground fortified tunnels to conduct terror attacks on Israel, rather than providing safe shelter for their own citizens. And we are horrified by the use of human shields as a tactic of war. We support Israel's right to self-defense and recognize, as President Obama did again yesterday, that, quote, no nation should accept rockets being fired into its borders or terrorists tunneling into its territory. But tonight is not a political rally. We will not march. We will not chant slogans. We will not wave signs.
Something also worth mentioning, so the two key principles of distinction and proportionality. And they must be, those two principles must be applied to every single attack that takes place, both by Hamas and by Israel. And therefore I think it's important, I mean that's what the law requires, the laws of war require. Each attack be assessed on its merits according to distinction and proportionality. It's extremely fact specific.
I know that may sound strange when the news reports bring terrible stories of rockets and terrorist attacks and military operations renewed even these last few days. But I find it encouraging and hopeful that even in spite of all of this, our people here in Israel continue to cling to a dream of a life that is normal and a life that is inspired.
When 1,000 people tell me there is no hope in Israel, there is no hope. And believe me, that's what people are saying. Nothing's ever going to change, and it's very upsetting. But these kids are doing things that build hope. This is a video, I think. So rather than just show you the photo, I'm going to show you this. This takes trust. There are Jews, there are Arabs, there are kids from St. Louis, including my son and my niece, who are Jews, and there are inner city kids of all races and religions. There are homeschooled American kids, and they all have a coexistence. They're not assimilated.
When his dad was done speaking, I had the opportunity to shake his hand and give him my condolences. And instead of being able to do so, he gave me a big bear hug, and he said, thank you to all the people who are here in this room for being here for us. Thank you for being together with us in these tough times.
I felt a profound sense of peace that comes with belonging. And within the first 24 hours of arriving, I was in a bomb shelter, waiting for rockets to pass overhead as the war between Hamas and Israel escalated.
I was filled with many different emotions on this trip, but mostly humbled to be representing the St. Louis Jewish community and the Jewish people being there in Israel at this difficult time. I'm even more inspired by the courage, strength, and resilience shown by our Israeli brothers and sisters.
I got to see the hearts and the souls of the Jewish people. One of the events that pulled at my heart the most was when we met Gilad's parents. They came to lunch, and the father spoke. His words I will never forget. He said that Gilad meant joy forever. He could hear his son whispering in his ear wishes for Jewish unity, tolerance, and for all children and parents to love each other.
The collective of Jewish federations from across North America have mobilized an emergency campaign to help alleviate the psychological and physical effects of the conflict on Israel's population. The initial goal is to raise $10 million, which we hope will be enough, although there may be additional needs that surface. We have set a St. Louis goal of $250,000 towards that effort.
The 2015 Defense Appropriations Bill is now under consideration by the Senate Appropriations Committee, and it, like the House's 2015 Defense Appropriations Bill, would provide the $351 million for Iron Dome that is needed. That's $131 million more than this present year's allocation.